we got some jigs. Just a couple, but we got some. I needed to get a couple extra of the Omega Custom Tackle Baby J jigs. I've been using Omega Custom Tackle for years, like a long time. There have been a staple in the Ozark Lakes more than 10 years now. These are their finesse jigs, the Baby J finesse jigs, and they are some of my favorite jigs. But we are going to open it up and show you what they look like. We're going to start with this one first. Now I know you're saying, a jig's a jig is a jig. And I'll show you here in a minute some of the differences between a regular jig and a Omega Custom Tackle jig. Now, the biggest thing you're going to notice with the Omega Custom Tackle, the eyes. The eyes on that. I love that. But these, so I'll show you the original ones. I have some of the original ones there. But these are the Baby J's. And they're very light. You can throw it on a bait caster, but they look great. You got the little jig skirt poking up there. I usually cut this one way down, like below. Usually, you know, a good rule of thumb is the hook. I usually cut it a little bit shorter than the hook, so it flares out pretty good. And then whenever I got a trailer on the back of that, you know, it looks pretty good in the water. What I like about this is the line tie is inside of that head. Kind of hard to see, but it's there, I promise. But I love it. I like it. I like it. This is a good color for Ozark Lakes. I'll show you the other two real quick before I bring out some other jigs and compare them to Omega. This one, obviously black and blue, but what I like about these is the tinsel. It's got tinsel put into it, and that's pretty good if you want to add a little bit extra flash in there, especially like on Table Rock, with as clear as that water is. It's always good to have a little extra flash on them. I mean, that hook is so good. That's such a solid hook on all the jigs I've ever used. When this sits on the water, or sits on the water, when this sits on the ground in the water, that hook sits up. It's always in the right position. So when a bass comes by and sucks it out, you're already right there. You're already right there to hook it. It's great. The black and blue right there. Getting a little glitter on everything. And this one. I like this one a lot. Got a little bit of an orange in there with green tinsel. And like a watermelon candy type top with like an orange, red flake bottom and green tinsel. Super good. Love it. So let's take out some jigs. So in here, you can see most all my jigs. I mean, this ain't all my jigs. This is what I have in my boat. I have a lot more jigs. Well, too many jigs. So they have these structure jigs. That's a Omega Custom Tackle structure jig. And that hook on that thing is so good. Now this is exactly what you want to use on Table Rock Lake or Lake of the Ozarks, Grand Lake, Bull Shoals, Stockton. These are perfect for jig fishing on Ozark Lakes. This color specifically, this is like, you know, the Okeechobee crawl like color. Great on Table Rock. This is a great Table Rock jig right here. Good hook. Good stout hook. They have this in a finesse version as well. Same little structure head. Hook, same deal, real stout, but in a finesse version. And it is so much fun to throw. It comes in and out of structure really well. But you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. A jig. Jig is a jig is a jig. And that might be the case. But when you pull out other jigs, like this one, which is a good jig, right? Football head, peanut butter and jelly, PB&J color, another Ozark staple color. But do you know who made this? Can you tell me who made this jig? Nope. Put that one aside. How about these two? Woo. How about that one? Black and blue, finesse jig, football head. Who made that one? Another PB&J, football head jig. Who made that one? Here is a flipping jig, or a skipping one. See how it's like rounded right there? For skipping docks, a skipping jig. Black and blue. Who made those? So you go through all that, you know? They've got their swim jigs. Who made that one? Pretty obvious to tell with them eyes, huh? Omega Custom Tackle. Same with their... This one, I've beat this to death for years. Look at that thing. They're chatterbaits. It's called a Rapture vibrating jig. I've beat this to death. They also have spinner baits and buzz baits. But when you look at all these jigs, you're like, alright. This one, super easy to tell right off the way. Oh, that's Omega, you know? And sometimes we're like, well, as anglers, we're like brand loyal, you know what I mean? No matter what, people go, oh, like think of the boats. Oh, you drive a Nitro, or you drive a Phoenix. I got a Charger. I got this. I got that. You know how fishermen are, right? So when it comes to jigs, we always find the jigs that we like the most. Omega's always been that jig for me. They got that cool look. I like their logo. I like how the eyes are. I like how they sit in the water. You know, for me, for my style, Omega's always been the best. They've always been the best. This color right here is like a really good color for the Ozarks. And this is one of their structure jigs. You know, like it just always sits up. That hook is perfect. It comes in and out of structure great. You can't go wrong with those jigs. They are great. So to answer this question, check that out. Look at that one. I like that. Look at that swim jig. I gotta cut that skirt. Look at that swim jig. So good. But who made those? Did you have an answer? I'll tell you the answer. They're custom made. Yeah, it's such a good looking jig. What do you think?